Hey, and welcome to the Video Marketing Made Easy podcast, where we believe that video is the most powerful way to monetize your message, stand out in the market, and grow your business. I'm Josh Crandall. So in this podcast, we talk about practical strategies to help grow your business with video. And if you struggle to grow your audience or getting the word out about your product or service, we're here to help. And definitely check us out on videosupply.com. And look at the resources we have available to you in order to help you in that journey. So welcome back. I hope we've gained some momentum with some viewers here. Hope you're sticking with us. We've built a little bit on the last few episodes that hopefully can lead you to where you are today with us. But today's episode, I was really struggling to find a topic today. And I usually can come up with something pretty quick, but I was feeling a little bit unmotivated. So today I think it's just going to be a little bit of a pep talk. Really, there's just a few things that and a few recent experiences that I want to talk about and want to share, because I think they're beneficial. Don't really want to come off as a wise sage here, but I've been doing video for a long time. I've worked with a lot of people. I feel like I'm really knowing my stuff. And would like to share some of these pearls of wisdom with you in this pep talk. So yeah, like I said, I woke up today at about 5:30. One of my friends that I've known for since I was a kid, really. So growing up, he is a farmer. I grew up in a farming community and surrounded by farmers and a lot of construction, a lot of blue collar jobs, and I was not really involved in that. I hung out with everybody, but really didn't know what farming was like, or a lot of those type of jobs. And so anyway, so I grew up with this guy, and he asked me to film an interview with him. He's going to apply to be a board member of an agricultural group. And so I was thinking, let's get really artistic and shoot in the morning. So we got up at the crack of dawn. I got to his place right when the sun's coming up, and he has some beautiful light across this gorgeous field, and I really captured him the way that I wanted to as he was sitting there in the field. I'm going somewhere with this. Hold on. We're talking about interviewing, and I've been doing interviews for many years with people in front of the camera, and I've learned so much about interviewing people. It's an art in itself. You think about a director and what they are involved in, and so much is relying upon them to create this video, right? You're taking this viewer on this journey, and you get to be the guide there. And maybe not the guide that they see, but you are guiding the viewer through this journey, which is video, right? So one of the things I've learned about shooting my clients is that my clients are a well of knowledge, and there is so much that you can pull from them. I mean, you think about your own life experience, how extensive and how deep is your life, and you think about that as being applicable to everybody. Everyone's got their own experiences that they build upon, and there is some way that applies to what they're involved in, and so there's a lot of knowledge there that you can pull during these interviews. And a lot depends on what you say and don't say, or even where you look, or what you repeat back to them, etc. How you act as a director. So my clients are a well of knowledge, and it's my job to reach into this well, or lower the bucket and pull it up and show what's in there to everybody. Sometimes it's more like a mine, right? Sometimes it's more like gold mining, where it's a bit more labor intensive. I've got to sit there and I've got to chip away at things, and I've got to really dig out the gold. Sometimes it's a little bit tough, but today I was just thinking about the questions that I asked my friend as I was in the process of setting up to interview him, and I thought it was a cool artistic move to, sit him in a field. And I kept asking him, I said, is this silly? Are they going to think that this is weird? I'm asking him questions about his audience because I'm not well acquainted with him. I said, what do you think about, doing this or that? Is it going to resonate? And I realized that I was really relying on him to be the guide, to be my guide, to be the director's guide, the guide's guide. So that's pretty interesting. So why am I talking about this? I recently heard, and you've heard, the riches are in the niches, and I'm going to use niche and niche because I've heard them both ways. I'm going to use these interchangeably, so forgive me if you feel so strongly about one or the other. But the riches are in the niches. So people are saying you've got to niche down. You've got to find your niche, and that's where you'll be able to grow. And I don't disagree with that one bit. But I do believe that you are your niche, and that there's so much that you have to bring to the table. And it really just takes doing that, right? The process of bringing that forth. So you are your niche, and what better model to your audience do you have than yourself, right? So working with interviewees and with my friend in particular today, relying upon that thought that you are your niche to convey the information, right? For him, this was an application video to become a member of a board of directors, I think it was. And so he, so the way that we framed and talked about everything was, what are they going to want to hear from you? What are they going to want to see in you? And how can we display that, right? And it's more than just the interview, so we're going to build on that. But he's the niche there, and he is what they're looking for. It is just showing them that through video. So when it comes to creating videos and putting them into your marketing strategy, there's a lot to do with frameworks. There's a lot to do with systems. There's a lot to do with, and we bring our clients through all of that. We bring them through these systems and we help them with their marketing messaging. But it's best when you can follow your instincts and you can break free from the systems. You can break free from patterns or molds that are put in place. If you think that it would, suit your audience the best way. And that can be a step into the dark. It can take a little bravery to do that. But if you follow your instincts and as you're script writing, playing around with a more creative hook might be, a way to follow your instincts. Because how is your audience going to want to see you? And so, I was at a marketing meeting. So there's a local group. There's a few professors and marketing people in the area that created a marketing group, and it's actually, I think it's a not-for-profit. So they're hosting a meeting every third Thursday or something, and I went to it, and I thought it was pretty interesting. I did think it was a little basic. Most of the content was geared towards college students, and it seemed like some of the questions were that were fielded were pretty easy. But I think that something that was talked about by one of the speakers there, she's a store owner, so she owns 2 stores in some local towns, and then she has some of her products online. And she talked about showing up. We hear that a lot in the marketing realm. You got to show up and show up daily. People to see your face. She talked about being the face of your company, and for her, a clothing company. It's herself showing up, mainly in her stories, her Instagram stories, daily, so that her audience can connect with her. And so she said something that was pretty interesting. She's like, I don't re-record my stories. If something happens during them, I roll with it, right? And that's pretty brave, I think. But she follows her instincts and lets that guide her in order for her to feed, I use that word, to feed her audience daily. So don't be afraid to try things out that might seem a little bit different, because I think that different thing is the eye-catching thing. It's the thing that's going to draw some attention, and it's going to draw in your audience a little more, is if you are raw with them, if you are, showing them how things really are. And I've learned a lot about that. My wife recently was doing some Instagram stories, and when she started talking about things that were seemingly a little more sensitive topics, that's where she really got a lot of engagement. This wasn't really in an effort to gain viewers or to gain, anything in particular. She just wanted to share it. And that's where a lot of engagement came from. So it was really interesting to me that she gained many followers just by being real about stuff. It's funny that you go online and you see people, that look like maybe they're living their best life. I think the internet's been pretty good at breaking that down recently and just showing life as it is, which I think is great. But we've gone through this era of like, oh, I'm only going to post my best pictures on social media. I'm only going to be, I want people to see me in my best state. And so now it's kind of changing, right? To where the more natural state is where we should be, and we should be real with each other. And I think that is fantastic. And I think it's a way that really can lower the barrier or the walls that keep us from showing that, that you're your niche or your niche, and that you are the best model for your clients in those ways, that you can follow your instincts, and really are not afraid of trying things out. And you're not afraid of making mistakes. I think that's one thing that really holds us back. For me, I've held myself back in a lot of ways, especially with like a podcast, right? I'm very nitpicky about my lighting or my camera setup. And I just decided that during this podcast, it's going to be mainly audio focused. So if you followed along on the YouTube channel, you've noticed that I've almost got a different thing going on every day. And that's because I'm testing out a lot of different things. I'm testing out large light sources, small ones, quick setup versus extensive setup. I've got a webcam today, whereas I've plugged in a cinema camera. So I'm just toying with things that is really building my knowledge. And I don't really view that as a mistake. I'm learning as I'm going. So because the content here is really it's podcasts. That's what we're talking about. So I'm trying to show up every day. It's a weekly podcast. I show up every week, in a different way. I'm trying something new and seeing what works. And I apologize too, because I've changed microphones so many times. I've got this microphone today. It's actually on this cool extension arm that I just bought, because I got tired of the boom pole being in my way. Anyway, so yeah, I'm trying new things all the time and learning what works best. Where can I improve? And all this is giving me knowledge. Excuse me. So I'm building this well of knowledge by this trial and error. And that's going to be the same thing that happens when you step out and you go for it, really, is when you start to record videos and put them out there to the world. And there's so many ways you can do that. And there's so many ways that people are making it easier for you to do such things. So like Instagram, with first they had stories, now they've got reels, right? And I mean, there's TikTok, and I'm not really well acquainted there, but there are ways that they're making things so easy for you to make your videos. It used to take forever if you wanted to sit there and caption your videos on Instagram so that people could read it instead of listen to the whole thing. Now you can just hit a button and it transcribes it for you, and that's going to save you so much time. So really these tools are very powerful, and they're coming out to really help you out and to make your job easier, that you can just draw the water out of that well and share it with people and not worry about the technical process behind it. Go back and listen to some of these podcasts that talk about frameworks and how to script and how to approach your audience and what platform to use, because it's so very useful. But today I'm just talking about, it's okay to break free when you want to follow your instincts and think, I think this is going to resonate with my audience. I think that I can get engagement here in this way. I'd like to try a different social media platform today. I mean, you never know when you're going to be able to capture an audience somewhere. My full-time role as a content developer over the last 6 years, it was very interesting to me that our audience engaged mostly on Facebook and mostly on Twitter. And we really wanted to step into the Instagram zone because we felt like there's a younger, up and coming audience that would benefit from the cutting edge research that we were conducting. And so we I was the one that headed up that operation to tap that resource and to say, let's get to this other audience. It was out of the ordinary for our group at the time, but there's now a substantial audience there, and it has become a regular thing for people to share on there. And sometimes that's kind of the waves that happen, right? You jump on and you go with a platform, and it seems to pick up speed and work for a while. And so don't be afraid to follow those instincts. Don't be afraid to try it out. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, and make sure you're showing up every day. Like myself, I didn't want to do this podcast actually. So I sat down and said, I've got to do it. I've got to be consistent here, and consistent and reliable. It's kind of my job to do it right now. But I'm learning so much by doing this every day. So really step out, and don't be afraid to try those new things. And I think I'll keep this podcast pretty short today, but really just wanted to share those few things with you guys. And don't be afraid to step out there, utilize a new channel, new platform, get yourself talking in front of the cameras, and really trust your instincts there. And so with that, I'll leave you there. Be sure to check out our website, videosupply.com. We have tons of free resources there that you can check out. Guides on how to script, guides on how to film your videos. Look at our Video Supply programs that you can jump into. We've kind of restructured our custom program to fit really anybody and at any price point. There's the basic, the growth, and the pro plans now, where you can take somewhat of a DIY approach to your video creating, and at any point in your journey there, you can also ask for help. You've got coaching calls. I was just on one today, talking with a man in the UK who's really trying his best to reach his audience, and we're giving him guidance on what he needs to do as far as his strategy, his structuring of his channels, and even his equipment that he's using, right? So we're guiding him through all these things, and there's such a huge benefit to having these coaching calls. And so go ahead and join one of these programs, sign up today, and we can get talking. If you've got something you want to start on right away, go ahead and contact us through videosupply.com, and we can bring you on as a custom client too. We'll film with you in person, help you, before doing that, we'll help you script a lot of your content, and then help you share it to the world. So thanks guys for joining today, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.